Welcome to another episode of The Bastard Sermon. I'm one of your three hosts, Cody Hucker.
Patrick Seta.
Luke Young.
And today we've got on Jacob Wallace from Coldharbour and BROJOB. Give it up, boys.
Woo!
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Pleasure
for coming
to be
on
here.
today, Jacob.
Yeah.
We're going to get into your life. We're going to get into a lot of videos, a lot of fun shit. But first, a PSA from Luke.
I appreciate everyone listening and to the show and loving the stories about psychedelics that come from Cody and Patrick and myself. But please stop sending me messages on hookups for psychedelics and other narcotics. I am not going to connect you. I don't know a person. It's just not going to happen. It's really annoying. I'm not pointing anyone out, but just I'd appreciate if you stopped hitting me up for narcotics.
Wait, what kind of narcotics are they hitting you up for specifically? Are they like, hey, Luke,
LSD
you got some
mainly
Oxycontin?
and weed.
They're not hitting you up for heroin or anything like that?
No.
Thank
God. I hope Luke might have the H connect.
Luke, you know how to get some
I hope no one ever thinks that. I hope.
Luke looks a little dogged out on the podcast. I think I'm going to hit him up for the horse.
Just snoozing mid fucking episode.
All right, cool. Well, guys,
Anyways,
stop
yeah.
hitting up Luke for drugs.
Yeah.
He would appreciate that. We would appreciate if you didn't try to incriminate our fucking podcast. We don't know where to get drugs. All
terrible.
these stories are fictional.
Yeah.
All of them.
All of
Every
them.
I've
single
never
story
once done drugs.
that has ever happened and ever will happen, it's fake.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Drink to that.
Cheers.
I'll drink to that.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Fake news.
Luke will put
Luke,
up
you don't have a drink.
a powerful black power fist for solidarity.
Yep.
All right, so let's get into it. All right, BROJOB. All right, how'd this start? Did you expect?
BROJOB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
So it's interesting because I was in the band like 2.5 months after its conception. Andrew Zink is a wild man, one of the funniest people you're ever going to meet in your life. And he is in Tampa, Florida, and he was the owner of Hollowed Records. I was signed to his label, and it was very, very, very small scale. I was in a band called Cerebral Harvest. Over time, he was creating this concept of just like, because he didn't have a whole lot of respect for deathcore and at the time, and he wanted to make a joke about it. Over time, he started, whatever. But he created a band about sucking dick back in 2012 and pushed it all the way to now. 2017, I think, was what it was. January 1st, he puts out Talk Shit, Get Kissed.
Now, Jacob, did he pull from personal experiences on this sucking dick
Yeah.
band
He's
thing?
nodded. Yeah.
He's known a lot about sucking dick. He's a man that is...
These songs are
Now,
so
this is
detailed.
stuff that I feel like he should be explaining. But now, with that said,
All right, fair enough. We'll get him on.
He's an incredible person when it comes to sucking dick. So he put
Has he
out that
sucked your
song.
dick?
I'll be the one to.
Has
Not
he
quite
got
yet.
a good dick?
Not quite yet.
What's
Well,
his
there's
dick
a
look
large
like?
difference between both of us. I'm in fucking Kentucky. He's in Florida, so things are difficult. My dick is not quite as big as that. So,
Moving forward, how he created this band.
Yeah,
as
no.
a
So he
joke.
dropped a song, "Talk Shit, Get Kissed," and he threw $20 on it overnight, and then it just started going viral. And a few days in, he hit me up about doing a guest spot. So I actually did a guest feature on a song before I was actually considered to be a vocalist. And he put out a couple more songs, and then eventually put me out on it. We just remained anonymous for a long time.
Yeah. What was that like?
That was fucking weird.
Everyone knew about it. Like you guys had such a buzz in Cincinnati when BROJOB came out, and everyone's like, "Who the fuck is in this band? They're local. Who the fuck are they?"
It was really weird because I couldn't tell anyone, and then I would tell really, really, really close friends.
Why did it have to be anonymous?
Well, it started out anonymous because when Andrew put out that song, it was just him doing everything.
So you guys-
vocals, instruments, everything. And he didn't want people to know.
So you guys were like the ghost of the deathcore
Was
world?
he gonna wear
Pretty
masks or draw cartoons?
A lot.
of
We
the
didn't think
band?
that far ahead.
It was all lyric videos.
We didn't think that. Yeah, we didn't think that we were ever going to play live shows. It wasn't until about the summer of 2017 when we started considering the idea of playing shows. So over time, we just started thinking more and more are we going to have to get masks? Are we going to have to get are we going to have to fucking dress up? And we actually were thinking about dressing up like black metal, but instead of white everything, it'd be pink. But
That would have been really fucking funny.
and then get like penises and shit like that. I don't know. We were thinking about
That would have been really funny.
Yes.
I can
God,
tell
what
you
a
as
reveal.
a giant fan of black metal that I would fully support that decision.
over time,
Fucking
the more
hilarious.
we thought about it, we didn't want it to be like a niche thing where it was just like some people would get the jokes. But at the same time, like people, like it's Pink, whatever. At the end of the day, we decided over time that we wanted to be able to breathe, be comfortable on stage, whatever. I'd been in a couple bands in the past, and I like running around on stage. That's my thing. So,
Was this before or during Juggernaut?
Juggernaut was primarily like the
Juggernaut fucking ruled hard, man.
Thank you very much. That was a
Juggernaut
fun
killed
time.
it. I remember when Billy Blanton showed me you guys.
Dude, Billy's a fucking baller.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Shout out, Bill.
Absolutely.
Shout out. Yeah, I wear to this day the Juggernaut Jägermeister shirt, and everyone's always like, "Nice shirt, bro." Like they think it's
Think
the
it's Jägermeister.
Yeah. But I'm like, yeah, it's a
It's
band. But it's super cool. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. You were with Tien? He was hilarious as shit.
10.
10.
Yeah.
I fuck up his name.
So many
I've
people
known
think
him
it's
for
Tien
years.
or Thien, but it's
I'm
the
embarrassed.
easiest way to remember it is like he's not really a person. He's actually like a number. So like
Tien.
the number 10. Like he's 10.
10.
10
All
out of
right,
10.
I fucking get it now.
Right on.
I'm
so
sorry if you're listening. It's a tough name. I'm sorry.
Thien. I don't think anybody could like
Yeah, it's
be like, "Ooh, what do you mean 10?" Like, yeah. Of course.
Anyways, go on with BROJOB. Considering playing
so
shows.
I joined in. We started considering playing shows. We added in a couple live members to. God, it was such a process, but we started practicing together, and it was only like 4 members were like. Actually, no, I take that back. So it was Zane, me, Drew, and we were the only 3 members that were like local to the Cincinnati region. You know, Zane's from Dayton, and Drew was from Frankfurt, so they had to drive forever to practice. And by the way, BROJOB, if you listen to it, a lot of people are like, you know, it's deathcore, it's easy, whatever. The drums are deceptively challenging. They are ridiculous. Like, if you don't listen to Meshuggah, if you didn't grow up on Meshuggah, like, it's going to be a challenge to play. And it took forever to practice. We were practicing every week, a whole fucking, for 3 months straight. And we could only learn like 6 songs. We could only learn fucking 6 songs for the show in time. We didn't think very much through.
How many songs did you guys have?
At the time, we had put out an album that was going to be like the album release show.
Yeah.
So I think over the period we had about 13 songs. Then we started doing a whole bunch of covers and stuff. Andrew would just like randomly come up with the idea of, like the Paris cover we have. We have a cover that we did of the Suicide Boys song called Paris. Mm-hmm. He called me that day, and I had never done vocals, as the like on BROJOB yet. And he said, "Hey, fucking, you want to try doing this song?" And I had just woken up at 10 a.m. Fucking sure, I've never heard it. So I walked upstairs and I listened to the song a couple times and then fucking covered that song. It's a pretty fucking fun song. It's now got 211,000 views.
That's nuts.
It's awesome, man.
What's that like? You go on there and you see all these people looking at this shit.
It's weird.
Yeah, you posted another video recently that kind of blew up, and I was like, damn, look at him go. It was like learning how to scream or something, and it got like 30,000 views all like under one night. That's pretty cool.
Do you have a video that you want us to play to give our listeners a taste of something that you do, so
Yeah,
that we
sure.
could pull up right now on
Yeah,
YouTube?
pull up BROJOB Paris. That's a real fun one.
Give me just a second to get it queued up. Just keep talking.
Absolutely. So that was the first song that I had ever done vocals on. The one song that kind of like blew BROJOB up though was the one with Dickie Allen, who's the vocalist of Infinite Annihilator.
Yeah.
He's fucking insane. So that was the one song that came out before I popped on vocals. But yeah, it's good shit.
Let's check it out. I really like this song.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's only 2 minutes, so let's just play the whole thing.
Yeah.
2 minutes, listeners.
Hey, tell me what you know. Motherfucking about the battle with the young little creeping bang. Daily young battle, sucker, creeping out the fucking dungeon. First way, gonna make the dark fucking pumpkin. 30 rounds of the clap off rap. Shows
Dude, that was really fucking good.
That was
That
awesome.
was awesome. So much fun.
Thank you.
Good
you very
timing. I
much.
spilled my beer halfway through that. I'm sorry, Patrick. It foamed up as I opened
care.
it.
No big
But
deal.
yeah, dude, that was solid. I'm not familiar with Suicide Boys. I'm not big like into the deathcore, metalcore thing, but it sounded really good. I mean, it came across really well.
Appreciate that.
What is Suicide Boys though? Is somebody that's not like familiar at all.
So I was kind of like, that was the first time I ever listened to Suicide Boys. It was the first time that he called me and said like, hey, go track that. So,
It's like sad boy rap,
but that's what I've heard.
like Little Peep or something like that. It's really sad stuff that they rap about apparently, or like doing Xanax and stuff like that. I'm not an
Or just
expert,
party
but I mean,
stuff.
I listened to a lot of Suicide Boys last year. It's just like a very deep, dark kind of hip hop kind of shit. And it's kind of hard to understand them sometimes, but
So
I
it
can't
fit-
tell if it mumbles or what, but it's just catchy. It's catchy as shit.
And the lyrics fit perfectly in that scene. Then I'm guessing like the deathcore, metalcore scene or something.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
would say
Like,
so. I would say like they probably have a very similar demographic. I would
If
absolutely
you had
agree
like
with
a
that.
left-right spectrum, yeah, they would definitely be on like the same side,
Like,
whatever
if
it would be.
If you listen to that kind of metal, and if you're going to listen to rap, it's probably going to be something like that most likely. For not saying everyone's like that, but you know what I mean. Sorry, I got a burp.
That's really awesome that it's blowing up for you like that, though. I mean, whenever you start doing something creative, I've done plenty of creative things, and I always go into it doing like I don't know how your thought process works, but whenever I make like a painting or fucking make a song or like anything that I'm doing, make a podcast, I'm just like, I just hope that I'm doing a good job and I'm having fun the entire time. And then like something that you do for fun turns into like 250,000 views on YouTube. That's got to be a fucking like crazy experience to just like start the process.
I mean, and there's plenty of stuff that doesn't do super well too. It's a process of trial and error. There's plenty of stuff you do that doesn't catch wind, and that's totally fine. It's just about the drive to keep on going when things don't work out in your favor.
Right, 100%.
Yeah, that's for sure. You definitely got it. No, winners don't become winners unless they've been losers.
Fail a fuckload of times. I mean, you don't get to fucking Carnegie Hall without sucking a couple dicks. Is that how the saying goes?
Am I
I'm
right?
pretty sure that's a
I'm
bro
fairly
job.
certain that's how it goes.
I mean, it's a bro job we're talking about here. It's a band that was started by dick sucking. Apparently, that's what Jacob Wallace just told me on the
There's a
Bastard
whole
sermon
bunch
today.
of dick sucking.
That's really funny. That's really cool though. And now you got this new project, Coldharbour, which that's a really cool name, by the way. What's
Thank
up with
you.
that?
Coldharbour is something that Josh and I started. Josh Hansen, who
Few the Fallen.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he started. I don't know. He moved out to Utah. He came back, and we both were in BROJOB after I invited him in to do the live thing. And Andrew is the writer of BROJOB, and Josh had kind of like this outlet that he still wanted, and it's kind of like a different kind of sounding thing. So
He's a really good guitarist.
he's insane.
He's a really talented musician.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, and that's something that's real fun about creating music with him, is just things like go so effortlessly. But yeah, so he had all of this material that he had written when he had moved out to Salt Lake City. And when he came back, he needed a vocalist for it. And so we said, fuck it. Like, we have BROJOB, like, which, We do a lot of whatever we want, but mostly, satire. Why not have like a creative outlet for, our serious kind of side? So that's what we did. And so we released an EP recently. We just played our first show with Inferius and a whole bunch of other cool bands, and that show did pretty well for our first one.
Wasn't it Legends or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we did
sure.
270, which was pretty sweet. And we are playing the Chelsea Grin Born of Osiris show on March 15th.
Sweet.
I am super fucking pumped about, because Chelsea Grin is fucking incredible and Born of Osiris is bae. So yeah, things are cool.
Everyone is really nice in Chelsea Grin, so you're gonna really enjoy playing with them. Seriously.
Hell yeah. Tom Barber, by the way, that new vocalist. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, they changed totally. They're really fucking dope and sick now. It's awesome. Yeah. I didn't really care for a lot of their older music. I agree. I played with them at the All-Stars tour once, and they were just super cool. I never really listened to Born of Osiris or any of them, but sitting backstage with them was really crazy because they fucking go deep, I remember, I think I've told on the podcast before, but it's I blew up this big-ass beach volleyball, I remember. It took like 2 hours. And it's like the size of my body.
Did remember this story? Out, bud?
Oh, I was exhausted because I played a show and there's no AC at this place either. It's at this place called the Expo 5, which is like an abandoned airport
hangar.
That
was the very first show I ever went to.
This is a sad story, Luke. This is a very.
It's not a good story.
I would feel so defeated.
It's a good story in hindsight.
Let's fucking hear it.
So I blew up this giant beach volleyball, and it took beach ball. It took like 2 hours. I'm sitting outside.
Pat's winded, like
the
just
whole
about to
the whole
black
fucking
out
event was weird for me. I'll tell you the whole thing. Okay, so I blew this whole thing up, and there Chelsea Grin's playing, and I go up on stage and I throw this fucking ball. And I'm like, yeah, party started. And as soon as it hits the crowd, someone poked it and popped it instantly.
Just instant switchblade to the fucking beach ball. The Pat spent 2 hours and a bunch of brain cells.
I backed up and I was like, fuck you.
That dude was fucking in the crowd and saw you. And was like,
he saw me coming up there
today,
struggling past all the fucking.
I see like the fucking like the 8-bit glasses like fucking flying his way with the gangster song. The joint flies in his mouth. Yeah, Thug Life.
Yeah. But there was a lot of other. I mean, that show had a lot of fucking emotions. I have to fucking talk about me for a second.
You should.
But I remember there was this one band that I used to listen to back on MySpace because. Right when I was getting involved, it was like when Facebook came around and stuff. So all these MySpace bands were like huge, like the Crimson Armada, Attack, I Am Abomination,
Bubblegum Octopus,
Miss May I, if you're familiar,
dude. Attack. Yeah,
but there was this one band called
this
Romantic Tragedy, and I remember I used to listen to them like fucking crazy. In hindsight, they're fucking awful, but back then I loved them. And I got a chance to play with them, and I was like, I can't believe this. I'm about to meet these guys that inspired me to be into music.
And then they were dicks.
No, they were all super cool, but they were all
talking
about
molested Pat over and over again.
Yeah, and then they took me one by one back in their van. They took me. If
back
you're
a true fan, you'll open up your butthole and give it up for Jimmy Pop.
I was fucking talking to them, and it's about to take a dark turn. And they were all arguing amongst themselves the whole time about doing bath salts and all kinds of fucked up shit. And they were talking about we're probably gonna break up after this show and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I've been so ready to meet you, and all this shit happened.
But let me tell you, if I went on tour for 30 years with you two fucks, I'm doing bath salts. Promise.
Fuck.
I'm just kidding.
I'm a nightmare to be around a lot of the time.
I fucking hate you.
Especially on bath salts, man.
Yeah, damn.
I mean, the bath salts. I mean, maybe some ketamine, something disassociative to get Luke out of his head so that he can fucking go over the
out
space
of his head
mountain.
because I'm gonna fucking eat his face. So,
Wait, shit. Pat was disappointed though. I feel like me or you would be so stoked to just hear about the inner monologue of a band that's about to.
I mean, it was fascinating.
Tell me about this juicy drama that's going on.
Well, that's what kept happening is that the band manager or the tour manager, the guy who was going on tour with them all the time to help keep them together and all that shit. Them and some of the guitarists were coming up to us because we were hanging out with them so much because I was hanging out with them a lot, so everybody else was just kind of there. And
you're famous by association. Oh my god.
Let's all hang out there. Yeah. But they kept trying to conform with us and shit about decisions or about these big decisions about breaking up or is it worth even playing tonight and all that shit. And just this is a nightmare. But it was crazy. It was definitely a crazy experience. That's for sure. Have you ever had that kind of experience, Jacob, where you've met someone that you always wanted to and it just didn't work out?
Yeah, just sell them out on a podcast. It's not like you're in 2 bands that you're trying to get ahead in. Yeah, just throw them under the bus as fast as you can on a podcast.
Actually, yes, there is one. I was 15 years old, and this is like, maybe I was 16.
Shout out.
I don't know. Austin Carlisle, man.
Oh, really?
Austin
I've heard
Carlisle.
some stories.
He
was the vocalist of Attack Attack for all those
first
years.
And then of Mice and Men.
No.
It sucked because he was like my idol. Like, he was the reason I started fucking screaming in the first place. And walking up to him at the Indie Warped Tour in whatever year it was, I remember walking up to him with my friend, and like it took a lot. Like Nick Milson, I don't know if you remember him, but he like drugged me up there because I was too fucking afraid to like say anything. But I was like, holy shit, that's him. Like up there, he was just sitting by himself, and we walked up. And we were like, hey, dude, what's going on? And just, completely ignored us. Like, right there, like, fucking as close as this fucking water is to this thing, and just
totally, like, turn
away.
Away?
Just completely, like, just playing on his foot, like, nothing. And then we were like, oh, maybe he didn't hear us. What's going on, man? It just kept on doing it. And then, like, he did it one more time. He was like, all right, like, cool. And so he goes, like, and just like waves a finger, like fucking rolls his eyes, takes a big sigh, and then like gets up, and then he gets all enthusiastic and wants to like meet us. I don't know, like left a huge
really
sour
weird
taste in my mouth.
I had another weird situation like that. You remember the band Make Me Famous?
Oh my god, dude.
Like,
they were idols of mine, but fuck him.
So Dennis and all them?
Yeah.
I got a story about him. So Make Me Famous was this band that was from like Ukraine or something, and they had a vocalist that he turned out to be the vocalist of Asking Alexandria after Danny left. For anybody that ever listened to them, when they had the Black or whatever it was called. So he was famous on YouTube for doing singing covers of like Kellen Quinn kind of shit and Sleeping with Sirens. Very high pitched singers, Cody, if you're unfamiliar.
Dennis Shafor.
I am unfamiliar. Thank you for.
So they came out with the song, and they had a famous one-liner that was like, "Admit that I just did it, bitch." It sounds so fucking dumb nowadays.
It's just so Ukrainian, like it doesn't match English like at all, but like, and it became so famous.
So we played with them over at the Addict, and Brad was really. He comes on in 2 weeks, which is cool. Brad Hester. But shout out.
He used to cut my hair. He's a good haircut.
Yeah, good haircut guy.
Good haircut.
He's a good barber, is what I tried to say. Son
good
of a bitch.
haircut, bad grammar. Fucking dummy over here.
So Brad bought him like a bottle of Jägermeister or something, or some kind of vodka or some shit. I don't remember. And we went to go and hang out with him in the back, and Memphis Mayfire and Our Last Night was back there, and I think Stick to Your Guns, if you guys know who they are.
Nope.
Kind of like a hardcore band, right? I would say so. Well, they were all like hanging on this green
Hardcore,
room
like-
behind the...
Like they do anal or like hard.
Shut your fucking
I'm sorry,
dumb
keep going.
mouth.
Stick to the guns,
I was
bro.
going for a dumb joke.
Hardcore penis.
Yeah, poor penis.
Hardcore penis.
But
So
it's a softcore
we were all in the
penis. Am
back
I right,
there,
guys?
and we were telling some crazy story to the vocalists of Make Me Famous, and they didn't really understand like the slang of America really at all. So what they thought was cool was totally sarcastic in our sense or some shit like that. So we told him this crazy story, and we're sitting there, and everyone's like laughing, and at the end of it, he just awkwardly says, "Huh. Cool story, bro," and it like took the air out of the room. Like it doesn't sound like crazy when I talk about it, but like it was awkward enough for everyone to stop what they were doing and just like look at each other like, what the fuck? And then like, yeah, they just different. But I mean, I'm not saying that was an asshole thing. He didn't understand.
No, but like it probably was at the time.
But at the time we were like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
You seem to have problems with them too. Did you have a story about them being dicks?
I haven't had stories. I've just like seen the internet, and I was a big follower of him. And I mean, it was the same story every night. I don't know. Like supposedly he was just like that.
It's really weird seeing like all the people that were in that music scene. Like I wouldn't even consider Blood on the Dance Floor in there, but I know that they got in a lot of fucking trouble lately for some like pedophile shit, and a bunch of other bands were getting called out. What was another fucking band? Damn.
There was that one kid.
I think
Austin
Alice
Jones.
Aside got called out. Their
Alice
old
Aside.
vocalist was molesting like hundreds of children at a playground.
I think I might have heard that somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear that too, Luke?
Some
I think I might have read that somewhere.
bad
He was
news.
a bad guy. He was this long black-haired fella. Hit
Wow,
the
guys.
swoop. It was real douchey.
Yeah, big
Just
piece
kidding,
of
I'm
shit.
joking, Pat, I
Big
love
piece
you.
of shit.
Just
Anyways,
kidding.
go on.
They identify him as the tender bandit.
The tender bandit. Anyways, Jake, you were talking about meeting him, or you heard about him or some shit. What were we
Yes.
just talking about?
We were talking about
big
being
fucking assholes.
famous, but that guy, I think we moved past Dennis because I don't really
Bands that
know
were getting
him.
called out for pedophilia or some shit.
Yes, Austin
Yeah.
Jones. Austin Jones, the most fucking douchebagest person ever.
What band?
I don't know. I think he's just a YouTube person. Just
Austin
look
Jones.
up Austin Jones, and I want to say, yeah, he's fucking arrested for
Oh
pedophilia.
wait, I know about this. I've heard about this guy.
Yeah, piece of shit.
So he's the guy who used to do the acapella shit on
Yeah.
YouTube. So
most annoying shit in the
oh,
fucking
so
world.
fucking annoying and cringy. So he had like a bunch of videos where he would do a different voice technique for an instrument, and then he put them all together, and then he would like sing and harmonize himself. He just had to look
this
like the
dude
Brady
was
Bunch or some
TikTok
shit.
before
And all
it
he was doing-
TikTok?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was like the reason TikTok came to being, but he was
Yeah, he's the
really just
TikTok
doing
guy.
it to fucking have sex with children, apparently.
His Wikipedia
What?
says
he was diddling fucking.
He was diddling.
At least he was trying. I don't know. I haven't read enough.
His
But here, we got
Wikipedia
Wikipedia,
says-
which we know is the most valuable source on the internet because anybody can just put their stuff in there. like
Austin
Scott.
Jefferson Jones is
I was
going
gonna
to
go to the
okay, get to
second paragraph. After
to it.
accumulating around 540,000 subscribers,
it. Not
and
even
over-
a milli, you fucking broke bitch.
but he got 20 million.
Pathetic.
20 million video views. What is Luke, a rapper? Like, some dude shows him $540,000 and he's like, it ain't a whole fat ass rack, my dude.
I'm calling
Fuck off,
bullshit.
Luke, how about
Fucking
that?
come correct.
What kind of heroin dealer are you, Luke? You just have racks all day long where
High maintenance
$540,000 doesn't fucking appeal
He had
to
enough
you?
to tell
Keep
everyone
fucking
here,
keep
stop
going.
talking to me about it, man. I got enough going.
Right. And over 20 million video views, Jones became more widely known due to his arrest-related sexual misconduct involving minors and his possession and production of child pornography. Jesus Christ. On February 8th, 2019, his YouTube channel was terminated. It says sexual misconduct controversies. Luke, take over. I can't read today.
Okay, on May 10, 2015, the music website Puff Fresh reported that Austin Jones had contacted multiple underage female fans, each time persuading the girl to twerk on video for him, giving her directions how to perform the act while being recorded. A Change.org petition started by an anonymous 15-year-old girl to revoke his planned participation in the upcoming Warped Tour surfaced in light of these events did not accumulate enough signatures, but Jones eventually withdrew from the tour and addressed the allegations in a video uploaded to his channel, Setting the Record Straight, where he admitted that the allegations were correct and apologized for his actions while denying nudity being involved in any of the videos he recorded or any of the webcam conversations. On June 12, 2017, Jones was arrested at Chicago O'Hare International Airport by agents of Homeland Security on 2 accounts of producing child pornography, once in 2016 and once in 2017. In each case, he persuaded an underage female fan to make sexually explicit videos of herself, according to his directions. At a June 15 court hearing, Jones was released from federal custody to home confinement in his mother's custody after posting a $100,000 bond, but was ordered to abstain from using the internet while he awaits trial. He entered a guilty plea on February 1st, 2019, while sentencing scheduled on May 3rd, 2019. He pleaded guilty to a single count of receipt of child pornography.
This fucking dude's a creep. I mean,
I remember when this shit came out and they released like all the text messages and stuff. Do you ever read that shit? It's
yeah.
fucked up. There's
No,
some
I never heard of
fucked
this
up
guy in
shit.
my life.
Yeah, it was big news like 2 years ago. That's for sure. Or like a couple years ago, 3 years or 4 years ago.
You mean this year? It said this year he just got fucking...
Well, I mean,
Well,
I haven't
so
heard about
I
it since
think-
he's been arrested.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like 2 years ago is when it got big that like he came out with doing stuff, and then it kind of died down, and then only recently, it looks like February, like something resurfaced where they actually got him for real, like whatever.
You got
Yeah,
Chris Hansen.
he pleaded guilty.
Right.
Why don't you have a seat?
while the NSA is watching everybody, they aren't watching for child predators, those fucks. Like, what are you looking out for? Like, protect kids here. Like, what are you doing? If you're going to listen to all of our conversations, why don't you fucking figure out if somebody's making child porn in their basement or something like that? I don't know. I feel like, how do you get how do you get away with doing child pornography in the modern era when it's a fact that your government's listening to all your shit and viewing all your shit? Like
deep dark web.
Yeah, I guess, but that's all just.
I don't know. I don't know how they get away with it. That's fucking crazy that they do. I feel like they totally know about it and they're just not taking action as much as they should. If everything's so recorded and shit, why wouldn't they know about it? They just probably have to get like enough substantial evidence or some shit.
Because they can't straight up say, "Hey, we've been reading through your emails for years now,
yeah,
with no warrants, and it's completely illegal for us to do this. But we know that you've got a child sex dungeon." They have to they have to wait for you to slip up and accumulate the evidence against you. That fucking Jared from Subway dude, didn't he have like terabytes and terabytes of child pornography?
Yeah.
Like ridiculous amounts of child pornography. There was a comedian that was talking about it.
Google it. Google
I
this
forget
shit.
his name, but he was talking about like he had more than a terabyte. He was like, "Do you understand how much information a terabyte of storage is?" And he was like, and he had like several terabytes, whatever it is.
He would also go and fly places and meet up with underage girls and pay them money to have sex with them. That totally fucking happened.
How
Jared!
is he finding these underage prostitutes? Like, hey, I'll give you fucking a bag.
I don't know, dude. Kids are stupid.
And the kid's like, yeah, I'll fucking throw my child butt towards you
I
for
don't
a
fucking
bag.
know, dude.
What?
5.6 terabytes of pornographic videos and images.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
5.6 terabytes. There was a comedian.
That is so much data.
I don't remember the comedian's name, but his joke was.
Where do you even get that?
He was like, "Do you know how much information 5.6 terabytes is?" They're like, "Fuck a prison, throw this dude right in the volcano." Like, nah, we don't need this dude anymore. Like, what the fuck? There's certain crimes where you should just be able to walk up after they lay down the sentence and just shoot you right in the dome. Bang! Like, what they should have done. Like, I don't know if you guys watched that Ted Bundy thing.
Yeah, that was a good example.
The whole time. Like, when I was a kid, I was a dumb, like, into edgy, fucking extreme music kid.
You
like,
still fucking are.
Yeah, but I don't idolize
You're not
serial killers is the point that I was getting to, you fucking
Look, we all like
ginger
Slayer,
fuck.
but you don't have to be a dick
No
about
offense,
it, Cody.
Jacob Wallace.
Yeah, you fucking ginger fuck.
Yeah, you piece of shit. Wait, hold on. What?
Sorry, hold on.
No, but when I was a kid, maybe it was like the serial killers were fascinating because I was like, yeah, humans are stupid, nihilism, blah, blah, blah. But then you get older and you grow more empathy for human beings. And me and Allie, my girlfriend for the listeners, we were watching the Ted Bundy files, like the 4-episode, hour-long documentary series. Well, each episode's an hour long on Netflix. And then they just keep going through his crimes like over and over again. Like he's bashing in like people's heads and fucking like strangling girls to death and just burying them in the fucking middle of like
It's horrible. It's
the
fucked
middle
up.
of the woods. And he escapes from jail twice. And the second time he goes from like Colorado all the way to Florida, kills a 12-year-old girl, like tortures and rapes and murders her, and then goes to a sorority, kills 4 of them with like a log, just beats their fucking brains in. And it's just like, this animal should have been shot in the face. Instead, in this documentary, they have like footage of the judge up there talking about, well, son, things after they lay down the sentence of guilty, the judge is in there being cordial with him, being not just cordial, nice with him. He's being like sweet with him. He's like, oh, well, son, I wish that he was like, you seem like a very astute, very smart young man, and maybe one day in a different reality you could have practiced law in my courtroom because you would have been a great lawyer, son. But unfortunately, things went a different way. Like, things went a different way? This man killed like 45 people. What are you talking about? He murdered, raped, tortured, killed children, people. What the fuck do you mean? And like, it's just like, you should have brought somebody out to shotgun his brains out all over his whole fucking family, and then his family gets to learn a lesson about raising a serial killer. Whatever you did to him, don't do it next time.
Learn a valuable lesson.
Don't do it the next time to the next one, you fucking morons. I don't know what you did. You did something. Did you touch him? I bet you touched him. You're not on trial here, but you got his brains in your face for a reason, Father Bundy. All right?
I fucking hate you.
So, no, but seriously, there's certain crimes, like Jared Fogle, shoot him right in the dome.
Yeah.
As soon as he gets out of court,
yeah.
just kill him. Fucking Robert Kennedy in the hotel style as he's walking. Bang!
Oh,
Done.
Man.
It's over. Fuck him.
Have you guys seen that Abducted in Plain Sight?
No,
No, but
just
I
makes
heard
me
about
upset.
how fucking weird that
Heard
dude
about
is.
it, but I don't know it.
Dude, it makes me think of that shit too. So, real quick, basically, a pedophile is moved next door to a family that has a couple of daughters that are underage. the pedophile falls in love with a 12-year-old daughter, and he convinces the parents that he's like all about their family and shit, and convinces the mom to fall in love with him, and he convinces the dad to start giving him hand jobs.
He was definitely plugging him in the butt.
What? Yeah. And then he had this fucking he had this fake therapy tape, so he would go and convince the parents after this whole weird fucking love triangle thing he's got going on, that he can sleep in the fucking kid's bed 4 nights a week for 6 months, molesting her. The parents let this shit happen. Then he kidnaps her. The parents didn't fucking call the cops for 5 days, dude.
Was this
5 days?
Was this the same dude that was from Allies Aside?
What the fuck?
Oh, sorry. Keep going, Pat. I didn't mean to derail
Like, what the fuck?
Roll with it, you son of a bitch.
Anyways.
It's a joke. Jesus.
So he fucking kidnaps the girl and gets the girl to fucking fall in love with him. So the 12-year-old wants to marry the fucking 40-year-old. And they come back. They try to take him to like court and shit. And they sign like I think it's called an affidavit, where basically they get off like scot-free because the dad didn't want to come out as gay. Is that what it's called?
Affidavit, yeah.
Yeah. Affidavit.
The affidavit.
Affidavit. And he fucking kidnapped her again. Fucking crazy shit. You got to watch this shit.
Affidavit.
I think we talked about it on one of the podcasts, but it just makes me upset. I'm like, how are you this dumb the whole time? Right? Like, how are you this fucking stupid? I don't buy it.
There's not one thing you could ever say to me that would make me think it's a good idea that a grown man should sleep in the same bed as my children.
It's fucked up, dude. It's
never
fucked
happened.
Up.
I don't even have kids, and I'm like,
Jared Fogle has kids, and he's
know?
married, and he has all this fucking memory of like terabytes of child porn. When does he have the
Jared
fucking time
Fogle,
to look that up?
Jared Fogle does not pay attention to his wife or kids. That man is flying.
No shit.
That man is flying to high school, eating sub sandwich after sub sandwich, scoping out the local talent at the fucking lacrosse team, bud.
I like how Luke refers to him as the local talent. Like he knows all the pedophile lingo. Keep telling us, Luke. There's going to be clues on this podcast that people are going to point to 25 years later. It was right in front of our face. We should have known it the whole time.
It's fucked.
All right, let's get into some of the videos of the week. What is this first shit that Chad put
Oh,
up?
yeah. So I saw this video earlier, and it was just kind of shocking. I didn't even finish it.
Well, we're going to today, Pat.
So it's a guy with a syringe sucking up Coca-Cola and just play it.
That's a white can. The fuck you mean? That's
I don't
not
know.
Coca-Cola.
He's just sucking up from a
It's
syringe,
soda.
huh?
It's dark soda.
Pat's never had a Coca-Cola in his life. He's sucking up a Coca-Cola, fully white can.
You know,
caffeine free.
If he's real classy, it's LaCroix.
By the way, this dude does heroin.
I'm kidding. I fucking hate that shit.
No one just has a needle
That's just not a
handy
real
to suck
beverage.
Coca-Cola up with.
Maybe he's a doctor.
Maybe with his Superman necklace.
Pause it.
And
What do you think he's... So he brought it close to his face. What do you think he's going to do with this syringe? What is your first thought?
Well, I'm going to go
Stab
ahead
it in his throat.
I'm going to look at the title of this video and go ahead and say it's something with his eye.
Right into the eye there.
Oh.
It says Coke Eye is the name.
It says cockeye, you fucking idiot.
Okay, well, he's
Calm down, buddy.
Wow.
Y'all
Are we
right.
still friends, Luke?
No.
All right, wait. Listen.
Oh God,
Wait
is he
for
gonna
it.
spray it out of his eye?
Oh, my God.
Oh, he's
Barf.
going. Is he going into his?
hard.
Here, I'm gonna make a prediction. So the video starts with he's got a can of Coke or whatever the fuck it is.
Is it Coke, Cody?
So he's got a can of soda pop.
You fucking
All right.
idiot.
He's got a can of soda
Good
pop.
one.
He puts a syringe into it. He pulls it up. He takes the syringe and then he moves it to his eye. And then if you can imagine the eye, the part of your eye that's closest to your nose,
The
where you
tear
get all
duct.
that sand. Is that the tear duct?
That's
I think
the
the
tear
tear ducts
duct,
are
yeah.
inside. And he starts putting the syringe into that part of his eye. Let's see what happens.
Into the tear duct.
Why?
I'll make it-
Why?
Barf.
Oh no, he goes
Barf.
underneath that.
Barf.
Oh.
Barf.
I think he's.
Oh. Why did he do that?
Oh, barf.
You guys want to see a party trick?
No, why
Look
would
what I
you
can do.
Did he just inject soda into his sinuses?
Sinuses.
What the fuck? You said you didn't finish that? Why not?
No, I just was like, I
It's
got
unlimited refills, dude.
What?
Why?
Check out the comments. Are there any?
Because this dude's a fucking moron. Now inject Diet Pepsi into your other eye and see if you can tell the difference. Son of a bitch.
Oh
I got to the
God.
point where he turned the needle towards himself and then noped right out.
That's how I felt.
Says, I
Fucking
got to the
funny.
point of reading this comment, which saved me the trouble of clicking the play button.
I don't understand why someone would ever want to fucking do that.
That first comment wins the whole day. Now inject Diet Pepsi into your other eye and see if you can tell the difference. That's solid. All right, cool. What's next?
Let's see.
That was fucking.
Is this the one?
This one is.
Oh my god.
This
That
one
man's
is
dead.
just fun to watch.
Oh, it's just a good old time.
It's
that's
a little
about to happen.
unexpected.
Yeah, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, some
is it?
content's about to happen. So to set this up, this somebody's filming an apartment building, it looks like. And the apartment building is at minimum like 10 fucking stories up right now. I'm thinking it's way more. I'm thinking it's probably way more, but minimum 10. And he zooms in on him. And there's this kid just hanging on the ledge of the outside part of this fucking window. And he is hanging a terrifying distance off. And he slips. And he
like
falls into a trampoline, and he's fine. I thought
I just had to throw that in there to throw you guys off.
we were gonna watch Human Death, Pat. Jacob Wallace is over here about to have a stroke and a panic attack at the same time. Look what you did to our guest, Patrick. How could you do this? Look at him, Jacob.
Smart idea.
Are you okay, Jacob? Is
That was a
Brojob-
roller coaster.
Do you think BROJOB will be able to come out with a new album after seeing a video like that? After feeling your heart race like that?
Well, fucking only time will tell, man. We'll see.
All right. So this is a movie. Is that what this is? Like,
I don't know what it is. It looks like there's cops running around. I'm sure it was a kid. I don't know. I don't
Maybe-
know why the fuck you would jump from a building and why there'd be an inflatable underneath.
I know what it maybe is. Maybe he was threatening to kill himself for a while, and then they put up like this thing.
Oh, like an emergency thing.
yeah, because
That's
they
probably-
do that. If
Would you guys ever jump from into one of those things?
110%.
No, but
You
I
would?
Yes.
almost jumped off your balcony to my death one time.
Oh yeah, that was a night, dude.
That was a hell of a night, but that wasn't for any good purposes. I wasn't trying to have fun at that time.
Are we about to tell a story
about
that
to get
should
dark?
give every
We
reason
can get
to tell
super dark.
Cody to start getting sober?
You guys ever try to commit suicide before? Well,
Uncomfortable laughter.
I did at Pat's house one time. I didn't though. I'm still here. We started a podcast.
I saved
Everything
him.
is nice now.
I saved him, guys. I'm a hero.
Pat was like, Cody, if you jump now, you won't be able to tell the whole internet in a couple months how little your dick is. How are you going to do that if you jump off and you're all quadriplegic and stuff? And I was like, Pat, you're right. And I came to my senses.
Well, I mean, sometimes like drinking, it like brings out some crazy shit to anybody. So that you were just a lot of drinking that night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we want to get into it or not.
I don't give a
just-
fuck. You
cool.
can talk
I
about
don't
it if you
know.
The
want.
drinking stopped for you that night. It never stops for
Yeah.
Cody.
It never, it never stops.
This podcast is sponsored by alcoholism.
If
Yeah.
that isn't a goddamn
You
fact.
said I'm sorry.
should we
the
get
only
into it?
reason I brought it
No.
up is because you were like, why would somebody sit up there? And I was like, I can think of 100 reasons why somebody would want to kill themselves. I've went through it 1,000 times in my own head. Like, it's all over. I'll end it for this reason, and didn't. So I get it if you want to
Pussy.
jump off a building.
So I'm just kidding.
He's right though. I didn't. God, I'm such a bitch. I can't even kill myself right. All right, these are jokes. We can move forward. It's all right. Patrick's butthole is sealing up
It's extra-
watertight right now.
It's extra funny because we were both there.
Yeah, that's what made it a good family-friendly time for the whole party.
You know, there's nothing like a good suicide to solidify a bonding experience.
Did you?
That's how it
So
is.
down the road from this apartment here, there was. Are we making you uncomfortable, Jake?
He's so uncomfortable.
Oh no,
So,
I'm plenty comfortable. I'm just
Weren't ready for
nothing
this.
like a good fucking suicide to really tighten the fucking mind.
He knows what I'm talking
Luke's
about. He
Luke's
knows what
words.
I'm talking
Luke's
about.
words. But dude, some crazy shit happened like down the road the other day, or like a couple weeks ago. Someone jumped off one of the bridges into the middle of the highway and committed suicide.
Yeah, it took
Yeah.
me double the time it normally does to get here because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the dude jumped off and landed on your car. I was like, how fucking long is it going to take for you to get here, big
It was
guy?
annoying. He couldn't have picked another day.
Jacob, just so you know, Luke likes to laugh at the most fucked up shit that no one would ever fucking laugh at.
One time,
Ever.
Pat was telling a story about how he got 2 concussions in his show and like thought that he lost brain cells, and Luke was over here. Like,
He's laughing right now. It's not funny.
He had to push his mic away and like cry in the back room, and then like as we were telling a different story 5 minutes later, you just hear in the background like, like chickens waking up in the morning, like a rooster wakes up his entire flock in the morning, just in the back. I was like, what the fuck was that? Oh, that's Luke still laughing about how his
cackle.
friend that he does a podcast with almost got fucking like just hit a base retarded.
We obviously give each other a lot of fucking shit. Fuck, he's gonna piss himself. Like,
Speaking of suicide, here's a guy that wants to die.
I hope so.
We've got another one. This video is called, if you want to look it up, Playing with 765,000 volt high power transmission lines. What are you doing, sir?
So this is like one of those things where I think Joseph Tipman, the guy that was on our 2nd or 3rd episode we ever did.
Tipton.
Well, I
Episode
should
one.
fucking know this because I
Episode
know
one.
him.
You
Episode
brought him
one.
on.
I
Don't
brought
know his
him
name.
on.
Episode 1.
Was it episode 1?
Yeah.
2. It was
It was
episode
2.
2.
It was
One
episode
was
2.
by herself, fool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's called War
So
Stories.
he used to climb up on those like cell towers that are like hundreds and hundreds of feet in the air, and you would do this shit, and I can only imagine like fucking seeing this shit while you're that high up off the ground. Fucking play that shit.
All right, let's see it. What the fuck are you doing? All right, so it's just a video of this dude. I guess he's got on some type of suit that makes him impervious to electricity because we live in the future. It's like an all-white suit. This man's playing with electricity like a Marvel superhero. This
Have you never heard of rubber?
This is how Static Shock worked. All right, so he's playing with this power line, and you could see the fucking. You could see the
This video?
electricity leaving these lines.
Yeah, it's off his middle finger.
Dude, fuck that. Fuck that.
Those staticky noises that you're hearing is him reaching his hands closely to this line. And you just see the the electricity come through the air. You can see it on this shitty cell phone video.
I bet that's loud as fuck in person too. One time,
Why would you be doing this? What the fuck is your
crazy
problem?
people. But I remember one time like a tree fell down on a power line. I think we had like remember that
Was
hurricane that
anyone
came
around
up?
to hear it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry.
It was down on
Great
my
joke,
street.
Luke.
God, Luke.
Phenomenal joke. Continue, Pat.
But there was like this hurricane that came up from like Florida all the way up to Ohio, and it was like Category 5 down there, and then Category 1 when it got to us. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was I don't know if it was like 7-8 years ago or some shit. Probably even earlier than that.
Are you telling me a hurricane was in Ohio?
Yeah, there was.
There was?
I remember because it was P&G Day at Kings Island. I was going up there, and like trucks and semis were falling over, and they closed the park when I got there because garbage cans were chasing people down the fucking walkways. And it was like you could see them running around the parking lot with these trash cans like fucking following them, and it was hilarious. But we get home and a tree fucking falls
Pat's
over.
maroon skinny pants almost flew off, and his hair was swooping in multiple directions that he wasn't used to. It was
going to be a bad hair day.
It was a nightmare. He had just straightened his hair too, and it was just all over the place. It was a bad fucking day for Pat.
It would not have been a good day for me.
When I have days like that, I just go home and I put
He
on my
was-
comfy clothes and I just stay in for the rest of the night.
The power went out for like 5 days after this fucking storm went through. I remember we couldn't go to school for a couple days. But anyways, back to the original point. A tree fell over on a power line a street over, and it was so loud. You could hear it inside the house, just like as loud as this shit is in your ears. That's what it sounded like. And it was like a couple 100 feet away, and it caught the whole tree on fire. It was fucking nuts.
Just a couple months ago when we had that really bad ice storm, our power flickered off for a second, then came right back on. And I was like, what's going on? And I walked upstairs, and it's just like snow and ice. Everything's covered in fucking ice. I don't remember when this was. A lot of my memories are fucked up, but I know it was a couple months ago. And I look out the front window of my house, and in the distance, I just keep hearing like, boom! And then you would see like the whole sky light up with fucking like, it's like white and blue and purple, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Then you hear like boom, and then over in the distance you'd see like the same colors, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And then I realized the ice was causing dead trees to like fucking explode and fall down onto power lines, and it was just like destroying these fucking power lines in the distance, and I just saw like the night sky being lit up with power lines, and then it happened again, and my power just went completely fucking out, and I was like, oh fuck. And we ended up having to like leave for the night and go over to like my power was out for like 2 or 3 days or some shit. We had to go over to like my aunt's house and shit.
Yeah,
Annoying as fuck.
I remember having to shower in the dark like all the time, and school was closed. Like
Showering in the dark.
But
rules.
it was
that's just
pitch
because
black in the slippery ass shower.
That's why I always shower with my eyes closed.
But Pat only showered in the dark so that the kids couldn't get a good idea of the surroundings, so that they couldn't give a thorough police report.
Oh my god.
Where are you getting this from, Cody? Why is this the thing?
Victim statements, Patrick.
Wow.
Pat gets mad at me every week. I come up with a new horrible thing that he did, and then Pat gets really
Did?
upset that I talk about it. Oh, I meant just fictionally, Pat. Yeah, I won't blow your
We
cover.
won't incriminate
Don't
you
worry,
on the
Pat.
podcast.
I got you. You're my bro.
Wow, guys.
That was a wink, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
being victimized here.
No, the YouTube listeners saw it, or watchers saw it. I'm sorry, I'm fucking around. All these are just jokes.
They're not.
Shit that I'm completely making up.
I'm just
Don't
kidding.
listen to me.
You hear that squeaking in the background?
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. Sounds like a teapot.
That's Pat's ears.
That's me,
right now.
like about to explode.
Segway.
Anyways, bad storms. That's what
You
we
had
were
a
talking
point
about.
that you were getting to
I don't remember what I was talking about.
before I accused
What was
you.
I talking about? Wow,
Ah,
this is
God.
bad, guys.
Let's
Anyways,
retrace our steps. Can we
Fucking
rewind?
next video.
We just gonna awkwardly go to the next video because
That's what's going on.
That's
Yeah,
what's
man.
happening.
all
All
right,
right.
let's do it.
Awkward.
This one's called shit.
يقول لك ايش قاعد يدلع يدلع
It's a fucking baboon, and this thing, I guess, skeeted and then just like tried to eat it. But their cum is like taffy. It's like an Airheads of cum. Yeah, watch the video again.
I thought that was gum.
Is that gum?
It looks like gum.
I've seen
So it's a
them eat-
baboon eating a gum-like white substance.
I didn't even see it come out. He was already. It was
I don't
like
know what
already in
that
his
is.
mouth.
Is
Have
it
you never
gum?
seen a monkey eat
All
its
right,
own
we gotta
cum before?
Google
What?
what
No.
monkeys look like when they're coming.
What
Wow.
monkeys look like?
That's the
when
only
they're
thing
coming.
that's the only way that we can
Clear
find
my
out.
cache and cookies, would
That's
you?
got to be an aggressive.
Bro, it's the first shit that
face.
comes up. Look, you guys are treating me like I'm a serial killer right now. This is a
Because you
real
fucking
thing.
are, bud.
Look, it beats itself off.
Ew, dude, what the fuck?
What is he doing?
Just watch the.
Like, everyone's like, what is he doing? You know what he's doing. What the fuck, bro?
Oh my god.
They eat their own cum. They beat off. They look at it. They
BROJOB,
smell it.
new song, Eat Your Own Cum.
You guys don't eat your own cum?
I
Have
mean,
you
I
ever-
tried it once when I was 14. I'm not proud of that, but I did do that.
Have you ever tried your own cum before?
I've been tempted. I've never actually
never done it?
Tempted.
No.
Like, you look at your hand
I've
like,
like,
it was,
licked my the top of my dick before, but I've never like
What do you mean?
attempting to suck it. You know.
Did you
What?
just humble brag to the whole internet about how big your dick is?
No,
How
I
big's your-
humble brag to the fact that I can bend my back really, really fucking hard.
What do
That's
you
all
mean?
it is.
So you're saying that you can lick your own
What do
dick?
you mean?
Can you
What
do it on the
mean?
show if we blur it out? Can you suck your own dick right now for the podcast?
I can't suck my own dick. I can probably get just the tip of it in my mouth, but I don't know.
Did you
guys
practice?
Can't, so
How many
all
times
of you
have you
guys
sucked your own
have
dick?
definitely tried to suck your own dick before. Don't act surprised. You've definitely sat there in the bathtub and like,
Luke,
"All right,
for
well,
sure."
Let's fucking see if I can try this. And if you fucking lie about it, you're fucking You guys have tried to suck your own dick before. I promise. Anyway, go on. What were we
I
talking
definitely
about?
tried to suck my own dick, but then I got I always got I don't know, like 9 inches away from my little dick, and I was like, oh, because my belly.
So the thing is,
Well,
you
my
know,
belly is like trying to fold a beach ball in half, so it was like, and then I would get distracted, then I'd fart, and I'd be like, oh no, oh, this fart smells really bad, and then I'd puke into my pee hole.
so
And
no,
I'm
I've
not
never
proud to
gotten
admit
there.
that, but I did. I puked into my pee hole trying to suck my own dick one time.
I've never gotten there. I've been able
What?
to like just get like the top, like and that's been it. But I don't know. I'm pretty proud to be able to say that at the very
You can
least.
get your dick in your mouth?
just the top.
Congratulations on having a big dick.
Thank you.
All right, we're at about 54 minutes. We know that Jacob Wallace has a huge dick. Can we take a break so I can smoke a cigarette?
Let's take a
Yeah,
break.
we'll be back with more dick news with Jacob Wallace.
Yeah, man. Whole dick in his mouth. That's crazy.
to play with.
Hey guys, we're back. I thought it'd be funny to start while Luke was trying to, like, he's all red faced trying to get back to the show and shit.
I'm back.
What were you doing, Luke? It looks like you just got done beating off and like you had to race into the room and pretend like that wasn't what you were just doing in Patrick's bedroom.
Because that was exactly what I was doing in Patrick's bedroom.
Okay, well, I'm glad to know that about you now, Luke. that you
I was
just-
getting the carpet out from underneath the
So
wheel.
you just beat your meat comfortably in all your friends' bedrooms? Dude, I'm never letting you in my bedroom again. It's just not going to happen.
You can come in my bedroom, dude.
You couldn't keep me out of your fucking bedroom, guy.
What the fuck?
He just sounded like
What the fuck?
He sounded like Christian Bale Batman when he told me that. Where's Rachel? You can't keep me out of your bedroom. I'll beat my meat where I want.
It's fucking.
'Cause I am the knight.
You're getting the fucking clue, bud. You're piecing
Right on.
it together.
All right, well, we had actual shit that we could really start with, Pat, and
Well, yeah. Jake and I were talking about Patreon and music being a thing now because streaming is kind of taking over when it comes to like screwing over like artists and shit. So take it away, man.
So, I actually recall watching a little bit of the episode with Cody Hale on the Bastard Sermon. He was talking a little bit about Ray Rasmussen. He's actually been a huge advocate in pushing forward the idea of Patreon in local bands. And it's starting to gain a little bit of steam. It's not necessarily gaining like a bunch of steam in one particular genre, but there's a band like one called Motherfolk that's local to us that started up a Patreon, and they're bringing in solid revenue from this little thing that allows people to pay for you to create music. And what a lot of people don't realize is that there are people out there who want to pay you, but you're not offering that ability. I don't know. It's just like a little cool thing to think about. Like, just people want to support you, but they don't know how because you're not allowing them to.
yeah,
So-
if I remember Cody's ideas exactly, he was talking about on that episode as far as Patreon goes that if you take Lego action figures and jam them up your asshole correctly, you could actually like come without touching your penis at all. Wait, that was a different thing he was talking about. That episode. Sorry,
What the fuck?
Sorry, if I remember Cody Hale's actual idea, not the joke that I just obviously made up, listeners. He was talking about how his idea was like release all your content for free on YouTube or Spotify or what the fuck ever, and then set up a Patreon and let these people be able to donate to it and just like make their own donations at will for anything that they wanted to do. I mean, he may have also been a proponent of the idea of putting Lego action figures inside of his asshole so that it could hit the prostate just in the right way so he didn't have to come without touching his penis. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm a drunk. I forget things. I
That's
don't
what I
remember
got
every
from the
conversation that I have. But if I remember the Patreon idea correctly, that's the same thing. But yeah,
Very
I
accurate.
think that's a
It's
good
a really
idea.
good idea.
I thought that it was a really good idea when he was talking about it because that's what a lot of people do now. Like a lot of content creators on YouTube, a lot of like independent film directors. Like if you're trying to launch an app, you just get people behind this idea of what you're doing and wanting to support you, and you make a compelling story behind it, and then you get fucking Patreon supporters. And it's kind of a cool way to manipulate the system into paying you money for doing shit that's just fun. You know what I mean? But
Frick the man.
yeah, fuck it. If you can find a grift in the system, take it. Like, if you can make some money
Yeah.
doing some shit that isn't a back-breaking ass 9-to-5 job, yeah, do that. It's available. Like, if you got fans, I mean, fuck, I'm not saying take advantage of them. You're giving them your
No,
music
take it
for
full advantage of them.
Luke's
Well,
ideas.
it's not even like
Luke's ideas do
like,
not
what?
represent the entire Bastard Sermon's ideas. Luke's ideas are his own ideas.
You are all mine.
Continue, Luke. Go ahead.
so even if,
Give me your money.
We need it. These mics are failing us.
But even like if you think about like the whole Patreon thing too, like you're really not making that much money, even if you do have that source of income. Like local bands just don't make money, and
No, fuck no, they don't.
there's a huge tipping point. Like even when you have some relative success, even if you're monetizing every single aspect, you still can't make a fucking living on that shit. Like that's how bad it is.
What was it? Didn't like I think it's Oh Sleep or some shit or Sleeper or something like I don't remember the name of it, but they would release something like if they made like $600 a night each band member after everything you pay, like royalties and all, or I don't know if it's that or van shit and
There's
merchandise and shit,
just whatever it might be.
And each member was making like $13.75 a day.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking crazy, and they're touring everywhere.
Well,
so they live on less than $20,000 a year. Like Thy Art Is Murder. I think that was like a good one, a good example. Like the vocalist left the band because he just didn't make enough money, or something like that.
He came back.
Yeah, he came back eventually.
Right.
But I mean, he released like how little he was making, and like it was a big deal. Like wow, yeah, people don't realize how expensive it is to make music. Especially just locally. It's all about passion. That's why I think the Patreon thing is a great idea, because there is so much passion. You want to support. It's all about support your local artist, business, shit like that. I think it's a great, like, GoFundMes and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I guarantee people would do that for music. Of course. You're hardworking musicians. I'm done ranting.
Well, there's like, what did Robin Williams say? There was something along the lines of like mathematicians, scientists keep the world spinning, and then, you know, poets, music, things like that are why we continue to exist. Things like that.
Yeah.
Now let's get real
some
deep
beer
here
on
on
the
the
floor.
bastard sermon. Sorry. Anyway.
Oh, fuck.
We gotta spill some beer out for fucking the good old capital RW. Rest in peace, bud.
Rest in peace, bud.
Dude, Robin Williams, that dude was a legend.
I thought that was one of the only celebrity deaths I actually cared about.
Yeah, he only stole a
time.
bunch of jokes that he ended up having to pay
I don't
for outside
care.
of court.
I don't care. I don't care about his stand-up. I care about his movies.
It made me sad too. It was one of the very few. It was like that and Anthony Bourdain. And I was just like, God damn, I'm bummed out. I didn't even ever meet these people or have any type of relationship with them, but they made such an impact on my life that I was like, holy shit, like losing these people has affected my life because of how much impact their creativity has like helped me out and made me feel good in the world. It really made me sad, but
Man, you sound like a bitch.
still gonna make jokes about
just
it.
kidding.
I know. I know. That's the point. No, Luke, you have a solid point. That's why I made the joke. But Pat was like, or somebody was like, fucking, yeah, but his movies were what I was talking about. I was like,
Okay.
all right, let me get for real now. And then everybody could be sad. But yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? I was trying to get this soundboard that one of our listeners made pulled up that we've never talked about on an episode ever. This
Shout
dude,
out to Jamie Go Bell.
This motherfucker.
Check out his episode.
This dude created a whole ass soundboard for us, and we've never mentioned it or brought it up once on the podcast. But,
Can we get him back on?
Yeah,
'Cause
absolutely.
He was hilarious.
We'll get you back on. We'll get you
Seriously,
back
go
on,
listen to that
Jamie.
episode, guys. Hilarious Japan stories.
Now, I've listened to all of the soundboard things. They have the Welcome to the Bastard Sermon.
Welcome to the bastard sermon.
That thing that they recorded. And, I mean, going through all of them, I think my favorite to fuck with is probably... I like to just mix them together and just fuck with it constantly. Just like I want to have this up so that whenever an uncomfortable moment happens, like I mentioned me trying to kill myself, and everybody gets quiet and everybody's blood hole seals up watertight, and we start bouncing eyes back and forth trying to figure out how we're gonna make this conversation work. I just like in the silence and the uncomfortability, just throw in like a or like a. I think Luke did the real thing while I was hitting the soundboard in the background.
The exact same.
And that's real. That wasn't the soundboard. That was just Luke. That was just Luke laughing how Luke laughs. Also, I realized, I'm sorry this is a terrible segue into this, but there was another thing that we forgot to bring up at the break, and that's our sponsor, Kneel to No One. That's Anthony Tank Mansfield, KNEELTONOONE.com. He makes these fucking glasses that we're all drinking out of. He makes a bunch of cool t-shirts that he gave to us.
They're super comfortable.
Awesome. They don't shrink
Love
really.
them.
Like as long as you're not throwing your clothes in a dryer for like fucking 3 years straight and then expecting them to come out not the size of like toddler's underwear, then you're fine. These clothes are gonna work just like every other clothes. He's not getting it from some cheap
Graphics
manufacturer.
won't peel away.
I gotta-
They're fantastic.
I gotta
Good
make a
stickers
call
and
real
stuff.
quick
Make a call, bro.
to turn off the dryer because
You just realize that it's
about
been
2
on
and a half years, actually.
Yeah.
It's
Damn it, man. You're cutting close.
I hate when I realize that now all your clothes are gonna be the size of like little elf clothes. And
I
then what
really
are you gonna
appreciate
do?
you bringing that up, actually.
Gotta open up a toy factory now. But yeah, check out Neil to Know One. He's KTNO. You can find him on Instagram,
Love you, baby.
Twitter, Facebook, everything. He's been on a bunch of times. All right, back to the show.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You
we
can
just
go ahead
had
and make
to
a
do
call
that.
if you got to make a
I
call.
wasn't really.
Oh.
That was
That was
my
a joke,
segue.
Pat.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Flew right over me, dude.
Good times.
Fucking idiot am I.
You can tell when Pat stops listening. He was just like, "Oh no." Guys.
I
gotta
appreciate the courtesy, though. That's very kind.
Well, you got to. You got to.
Anyway.
All right, so do you guys? You said that you've never actually toured with either Coldharbour or BROJOB before, right?
Correct.
But you've went out to a couple different like long distance shows and shit like that. What were those experiences like?
Super fucking fun, man. They were like mini vacations. I mean, everybody that I've ever met that has toured in a successful band has told me that it is the best, worst thing that you could do. And that being, you know, if you're on the road constantly, well, you're missing fucking, you know, significant times in people that you care about's lives. Like fucking people's, you know, like, I don't know, whatever. But when it comes down to it, we decided, fuck it, let's play a couple one-offs, like in a row, like 2-3 dates, and fucking we'll have a time with it. So we only take one PTO day or whatever, and then we went down to Dallas, Texas, and Austin, Texas, to play with Bleeding Through, and with God, who else was it? A couple other bands. The Last 10 Seconds of Life, which are like they're fucking homies, and a couple other bands. Yeah, they're so fucking sick. But yeah, we had a great time doing that shit. I mean, it was decent enough. You didn't like lose any money. So.
That's all fine and dandy, Jake. But tell us about the time that shit went horribly wrong. That's what the Bastard Sermon's here to listen
Yeah,
to.
we want to hear the times where you sucked each other's dicks.
Yeah, the
Okay,
time
well-
where you had to suck each other's dick for warmth, Pat. That's the way that joke ends, sir.
I'll tell you about a time I fucking the first time we went to Dallas.
All right, then shut your bitch mouth.
Luke, why would you say that to our guest, dude?
Wow.
Why would you just burst out with that in the middle of the podcast?
It was huge.
Luke, what are you talking about? Are you having a stroke right now,
It
buddy?
will fucking break your soul.
All right, I'm sorry. I've abused the soundboard. Anyways, when shit went horribly wrong, keep going.
Yeah, Dallas, Texas. The first time I went there, I drank too much. I drank too much before the show. Good times.
How much is too much? Because
I had like probably like 16 drinks before I went on.
That's a respectable answer. One time we had a musician on that Pat brought on an unreleased episode, and he was like, I got too drunk before a show one time. And then I was like, yeah, how drunk did you get? As I'm drinking vodka with like a splash of grape juice in it out of a water bottle. And he was like, oh, you know, like I drank 2 Mike's Hard Lemonades and I sniffed a shot of vodka, and then I went on stage and we were hammered, dude. And I was like, oh, yeah. 16 drinks. 16 drinks, a respectable number to be way too fucked up. How did that end for you?
So that was our second show ever, and I was just like, it was just cool, you know what I mean? Like, it was the first time I had played in like a different state, like about it, you know, and people were buying me drinks left and right, and I just didn't want to say no to anyone because I'm a fucking dumbass people pleaser. So I took a whole bunch of shots with a whole bunch of random people, and it was cool because it was in Dallas, Texas. You're like, fucking hey, man, you're from Dallas, and you fucking say something like you know me, whatever, cool. And then by the end of it, someone offered to like drink straight from the bottle of Jim Beam Vanilla. The bartenders were cool as shit too, but like, man, I'll tell you what, after 8 fucking drinks, Jim Beam Vanilla is fucking delicious.
No, it isn't.
It's like goddamn
No,
vanilla Coke.
I mean, I'll drink it, Jake, because I'm a mess of a person, and it's not. I'm not drinking it for the taste.
You're
after
an
the 18th drink.
alcoholic.
Shut up, Luke. I like the term mess. All right, there's no need for an intervention on the Bastard Sermon today.
Okay.
Drink to that, man.
I've only drank 6 days straight at this point.
Wow.
Keep going.
I
Keep
think
going.
I'm like 465 days.
But
I don't know. But anyway.
But my point is,
No.
Jim Beam Vanilla is always horrible. Keep going though.
Well, I was having a wonderful time with it. And so by the time we got on stage, so like being the vocalist of the band, like we have a couple songs that start off vocally before the instruments do. Like one of them's called Teeny Weeny. And I think that's probably our most popular song now. It's starts with, "This is the sound of 1,000 clapping asses." And I could not hit that. So like, but my co-vocalist Andrew like couldn't, like he didn't have the like mic patch on, so he had to like guess where it was coming in because I was too fucking drunk to like remember to like come in on my time. And like
Fuck.
Oh, it was bad. The fans thought it was really funny, I guess. But they oh yeah, there was another point where somebody came up wearing like, you know, those like horse masks that people would like wear,
Internet
and,
horse
like, the
face
fucking
thing.
whatever. Yeah, well, somebody was wearing one of those, but it was like a unicorn, and I ripped it off their head, and then I threw it on my own head, and then started screaming with it.
That's really funny.
I don't know, like I also fell over a couple times, but
Have you ever fallen off stage?
I didn't fall off stage. No, I just fell over like on stage.
I thought so when you told me 18 drinks, you're a way better drunk than I am, because I thought that you were gonna be like, I got on stage and then immediately like threw up into the microphone and then like kicked the drummer's set over on accident. Like I thought it was gonna go disastrously bad, but that like you missed a cue and you missed a couple like notes, but it went over pretty good for real.
Well, the thing is like when you play music, you totally find the flaws a little bit easier than, let's say, the people that are listening out there and already drinking and shit. Because I remember I played like one of the worst shows in my whole fucking life, and people liked it somehow, and it was like the worst show I've
How'd
ever.
that go for you? Get into it. Elaborate.
Oh, well, okay, I'll get into it. It was a weird night. So we played this goth show, which was so out of like our, like what we would never do. It was really weird. I think it was a band called Vampires Everywhere or some shit. I don't know. Kind of like Black Veil Brides or some shit. So we go and play, and like one of our guitarists, he was like on heroin at that time.
Hell
and so
yeah.
he was throwing up off the side of the
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. So
Fucking
Pat
dude,
was
so
like,
sick. Like, God damn.
Pat was like our guitarist. He was really on heroin. Luke in the background. If you guys didn't realize that
hell
was
yeah.
Luke, he was like, "Hell yeah." Luke, show us your track marks, dog. You got them hid in between your toe webbings and shit that we don't know about. The fuck is your problem, big guy? Just rooting for people's dope addictions. Pat, continue. Fucking psychopath
up.
Luke. How do we?
psychopath.
That's his new name, Psychopath Luke. I'm gonna put it in the fucking comments of the podcast every time. A petition to change his name and call Luke Young his dead name. All right, continue. Sorry.
He was playing like 3 measures behind the whole time, and he was puking off stage. We had a lights guy, so back then we couldn't be able to like program the lights or anything. We had someone sitting in the back with like a dial that would go like back and forth between these homemade floodlight lights that we had that would go back and forth on the stage. Turn up the dial, it goes faster, whatever. The guy kept throwing up on him. I tripped over like the drum head microphone, and we had another guitarist who just started, and he was playing breakdowns no one's ever fucking played before, and we had a really bad drummer, and we were infamous for our drummer at that time playing. It was embarrassing, dude. Embarrassingly bad. We get off, people were like, "Yeah, you sounded great. You sounded great." And we were like pissed the fuck off at each other.
What
It
if
was
you
so
have like
bad.
what if you have like really good friends and they just didn't want to tell you?
No, they
out
were
there
people
what
I'd
they
never
were?
met.
Oh,
I never
okay.
met these people. No. It was really weird. My dad came to that show. My dad's first show, my dad is like he's like a sports captain kind of guy in high school, president of his class kind of shit, one perfectionist kind of conservative kind of guy.
Yeah.
And then there's me, the fucking emo as fuck, scene weenie baby guy, fucking
This is
screaming.
still how Pat describes himself.
Back then, rare form, man. So he came and he brought my boss at the time too, because I was working for his friend, and they came to the show and it was awful. And I feel for them; they never came back to another show for at least for 5 years. But
Wow.
it was cringe.
Fun fact.
It was cringy as fuck. Anyways,
Fun
yeah.
fact, my very first show I ever played, Allies Aside played.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
What show was that?
It was like The Plot and You in like 2012.
Oh yeah, The Plot and You. Wasn't Micah Relocate on that show, or an Era? Era was on that show too.
Was
Era was on that show.
Yeah, I was a
Plot and
fucking
You
dumbass.
slaps.
I was fucking 17 years old and playing bass in the band. And
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Let's hear it.
Dude, I'm old as fuck.
Hold up, everybody. Cody's got something fucking smart to say.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say, Luke. Why are
What
you
is
trying
it?
to interrupt?
What is it, Cody?
Luke? Why are you trying to interrupt their conversation about shit that no one understands that's listening to this podcast? is
Because
going on
I'm
about?
confrontational, bud.
I threw in my jab as I was. Sorry, Luke.
You better be.
Anyways,
Yeah. I don't remember what you're talking about.
you were at the Plot and You show.
Oh, yeah,
17.
yeah. You guys played it.
Yeah.
And then we also played it.
What's the time
And that
that?
was pretty cool.
What's the time that something might have went like horribly wrong for like you at a show? Like
Yeah, let's
other than
hear
the
it.
16 drinks, have you ever been up on stage and just like shit the bed horribly and just like left, like didn't even get to stick around and hang out with anybody because you were so fucking embarrassed? Like, did you ever have a moment like that?
There was only like one kind of ish time, but like I don't know, like it was easy for me to like duck out because I wasn't like actually a part of it. Like so, okay, my friends in some like it was like a death metal kind of band, but like it was like kind of Viking inspired. I don't know like
Dope.
what it actually
A
was.
monomarth shit. I got you.
Kind of ish, but like it was. I don't know. It was 5-minute songs, and like a month ahead of time, they were like, "Hey, man, we need a vocalist because our vocalist is going to be out of town for the show. Whatever, you going to play it?" And I said that I would do it, and I was like, "Just send me like the song files, and I'll get to know them, and I'll just fucking make up some bullshit like on stage. I'm screaming, nobody understands what I'm saying anyway." And he sent them to me, but like they were just so like, I don't know. I didn't really like them a lot. And so it was hard to like get used to them. So when I got on stage, I just basically in front of a whole crowd of people just screamed like nonsense, and like these transitions were happening. It like the music didn't make any sense, and I was just screaming bullshit the entire time. I was able to dip out and fucking drove away like super fast after that.
Did you talk to the dude afterwards, like
Oh,
whose
no.
show you were trying to do vocals for? That he was probably.
No, well, they asked me like as a favor, and I was like, fucking sure, but like I did not talk to anybody after that. I don't know, like, it was like a couple friends of mine. We never talked about it again. I don't know.
It's got to be super uncomfortable shit.
It was kind of weird.
That's got to be super terrible.
Yeah, just like Luke finds his cousin hot. I mean, it's not a thing.
What the fuck? He throws this shit out there all the time. It just
Patrick,
like makes you so uncomfortable.
We need to start accusing him of some weird shit.
Well, he fucking hates old people. I know that.
That's a fact.
Oh,
That's a
you
fact.
guys
That's
really
a-
got
I
me
got
on,
nothing.
You guys really got me on that one. How am I to recover from I hate the
One
old?
day, we'll come up with something good.
Yeah,
I
we're
can't-
gonna fucking get you with a
You're gonna
real truther.
You're gonna feel real shitty.
Yeah. I hope you fucking die.
It's funny because I hope I do too.
Oh, funny shit.
Where's the soundboard?
Yeah, where is
Shrek's
the-
Files.
All right, then shut your bitch mouth.
Did you just do the exact same laugh on
It
cue
sounds
in
the
real
exact
life?
same.
You have the same laugh every time. That's not the soundboard. That's his laugh. That's what he sounds like. Luke, can you do a side by side on me right now? Hold on. Flawless! Flawless, ladies
10
and
out of
gentlemen.
10.
Holy shit. All right, so here's something. You guys are talking about music. I know this isn't really you guys' scene. Did you guys watch or are familiar at all with Lords of Chaos?
Yeah, it's isn't there a movie that just came out for it or
I
something?
have not seen it.
The old drummer for Bathory. He became he started directing Madonna music videos and shit like that. He became like a established director, and he wanted to make a movie about the second wave or the first wave and second wave of black metal, which was like Mayhem, Burzum, Gorgoroth, bands along the Dark Throne, Emperor, bands like that. And he wanted to make a movie specifically about the members of Mayhem and like the Black Circle, which was like they were basically a terrorist organization. They were seriously basically a terrorist organization in Norway that disguised themselves with playing music. Like they kept doing shit supposedly to support, or not to support, but to promote their music. But it started being like, we're gonna kill this dude, and then fucking like we're gonna burn this 800-year-old church down. And then they burned down like 5 or 6 like 500-year-old churches down and like murdered several people. And then there was deaths and killings amongst themselves and suicides and all this crazy shit. And if you guys are familiar with the story of Mayhem, that's what it talks about basically, is like Euronymous and Varg. And then it did a pretty good job. Like I've been a fan of this like this genre of music, like black metal, since I was maybe 12, 13 years old, and I like the crazy tabloid stories about
Get
like
dressed up and bury me alive before the show so I can smell like the dead.
No, dead. That guy, Pelle Olin, they talk about it in the show. He would take his clothes off and bury them in the yard and let them putrefy for like a week, and then dig them up the night before the show and wear them as his stage clothes. And he would find roadkill and put it in bags.
Why?
And then, well, he would put the roadkill in a bag for like a week, let it rot inside the bag, and then it would balloon up. And then he would bring it to a show and inhale it, and they show it in the movie. And then they were like, "What are you smelling?" He was like, "The smell of death." And it would just be a putrefying like bird or something.
Did he kill anyone?
Because he wanted it. He killed himself. And there's a.
Isn't that the album cover?
Yeah, it's the Dawn of the Black Hearts album cover. We're getting ahead of ourselves though. But he would fucking get up on stage and cut himself open, and not like little tiny paper cuts. This motherfucker's digging his arms open, trying to kill himself on stage every time. There's a lot of dark shit that goes into all this history, and they do a really good job in this movie, like showing how all this shit went. Because when you read about it, you think about these crazy people and they're really just kids in this fucking weird metal scene in this weird place in this weird time. That's like they didn't really know what they were doing. They were kind of just like kids. They were like fucking 18, 19-year-old kids doing weird shit, trying to promote their dark, edgy scene and shit. But this movie does a really good job of showing them as this, and a bunch of edgelord black metal fan kids are getting upset about it on the internet. Like, I'll never watch Lords of Chaos because it exemplifies everything that I hate about the metal scene in general. And it's like, no, if you listen to the accounts of like actual people in that scene, other than Varg Vikernes on YouTube, that's pretty much probably how they were. Like, they were probably just edgy little kids doing dumb shit that evolved into like a world of like murder and mayhem and fucking craziness that they didn't expect. It was a really good movie though overall.
Is Varg talking shit on YouTube?
Yeah, he was like, I've never went out of my way to see it. He was like, it's funny how they cast a former drug addict as Euronymous, even though Euronymous hated drug addicts. And it's like, yeah, but that's how fucking acting works. It's not real. They don't, like, they're not gonna. And he was like, they call me the most anti-Semitic man in all of Norway, yet they cast somebody with the last name Cohen as the person that's gonna act as me, and he is fat. And then he was like, he's making all these fucking super ridiculous Nazi points.
How old is this fucking loser?
He's probably 45. He got out of jail a couple years ago for stabbing Euronymous to death, who's the star of the movie. Rory Culkin, Macaulay Culkin's brother, plays that. Like, his youngest brother plays the Euronymous, the fucking Oystein Aarseth, the guy that started the Black Circle and started Mayhem and all this shit. And he gets stabbed to death at the end of the movie by Varg Vikernes, which is real life.
Sick.
Varg Vikernes goes to jail for 21 years. He serves 14 years of his sentence, and he got out. And what does a murderer that used to be a part of the black metal scene do? Naturally,
make a YouTube channel
and start making electronic music, because, you know, what's more black metal and fucking pagan and Nazi shit than fucking that, because Varg Vikernes turned into a super Nazi in jail or whatever. But like, he criticizes on YouTube all the time, and all his fucking stupid Nazi shit, but all these edgy kids are all pissed off about it. And I watched it and I was like, I know the story. This is pretty dead on balls. I don't understand what the issue is with these fucking kids that didn't live that story, that have no connection to it, like, physically. Like, why are they mad that a movie came out about it? It's strange to me.
Because there's maniacs out there that idolize fucking people, especially musicians, that got them into a specific scene, and then they just don't want that sort of image, like, ruined of them.
Yeah, but these people are horrible people. A bunch of them are Nazis.
Oh,
a bunch
yeah,
of them
but
are
then
murderers. A bunch of
I
them are
understand that,
church
but
burners.
There's
like,
also like we were talking about them earlier. The chicks who romanticize serial killers. There's maniacs that'll have like, you could be the worst person on the planet, but there's gonna be someone out there that romanticizes you.
That's
100%.
so weird. That always sorry segue. I think
No,
that's
it's
so
true.
fucking weird that people fantasize and
Yeah.
over. What do you think about that?
The fact that people romanticize just like over like
Charlie
killers.
Manson or
Charlie Manson, serial killers, fucking
Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Fucking
all the people on the internet that were like, after that Ted Bundy thing came out, they were like, he was, and they say it in the documentary, he was such a handsome man. Then all the girls on the internet like, Ted Bundy's bae, Ted Bundy's daddy. Like, what? This
think-
fucking unibrow fuck that murdered college students is not bae or daddy. He's just a
Murder.
goofy looking normal dude that was a serial killer.
And
Why
if you told him to choke you, he wouldn't stop.
100%.
anyways.
So
what were
this
we
plays into like some real deep weird shit, but like
Let's
I
get
feel
into
like
Let's get into it.
it kind of gets into like the Aristotle kind of shit.
gotta
Like when
piss
it comes
first.
to
Oh, I'm all about it.
yeah, like when it comes to like logos, ethos, pathos, like, you know, logos is your logic, pathos is your emotion, and your ethos is your character. Well, your character is a third of why people believe the things that they do. Well, wouldn't it make sense if somebody was well spoken and knew how to play his part in the character that he wanted to be, that people would fall in love or start romanticizing whatever that person is? I think they're not necessarily falling in love with the serial killer part because they're not necessarily seeing that part of him. They're seeing what they want to see because people see what they want to see. They don't see.
They think they can like, oh, I'm special. I won't get killed. Or
I think
some
it's
shit
like
that.
I feel
I
like
can
every.
fix them.
I don't even think like that. I think they don't even have that in their like register. You know, nobody's even thinking about like the fact that he has killed people. I think they're completely overlooking that.
It's like they can't even picture it. Like it's not even real to them or some
It's-
shit. That's what
yeah.
I think they're thinking. Like,
Because some people value one part of a person more than other parts. So if I'm a very logical person, then they might value that aspect of me. If that person simply values logic over emotion, or if somebody values emotion over logic, then they might think that I'm a crude person or an annoying person or whatever the case might be. So it's really just based off of how he's perceived. And he was a very easy to communicate with kind of guy. So people who are easy to communicate with, people can read easier, they think, and that's probably why he was romanticized the way that he was.
that's a good point. I guess if you're like charming enough and you're, because I mean, I don't think he admitted any, like Ted Bundy, I don't think he admitted any of the shit he did until like
Till the
right,
end.
right till like the execution
moments.
or some shit.
Exactly.
So I felt like people probably like, oh, there's no way you would have done that shit. No way. I mean, it makes me think of also like the Jeffrey Dahmer thing. Didn't someone escape from him,
Yeah.
go to the police, and he
No,
convinced them
He was
to give him
found
back?
by the police, and he it was when he was drugged up or something. Yeah, drugged
The victim?
up.
You're right.
Yeah, and he was found by the police in the alleyway, and Jeffrey ran out and said, "Oh, this is my boyfriend. We were out drinking," and the cops were like, "Gay, take him off our hands."
Yeah,
Weird
makes sense.
times.
So they just fucking took him back to his apartment.
It's crazy how things start changing over time as well.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's like every 20 years, like there's like a new development that people can actually put into concrete terms.
Well, it's also like weird, like seeing like movies and shit from the '90s or 80s, and like the humor totally doesn't would not pass
It
today.
doesn't
Like
stretch
Seinfeld.
the same way.
Seinfeld's a good example. There's a lot of shit in that. Like there was all kinds of fucking.
I don't want to
episodes,
hear you
yeah.
talk shit about Seinfeld.
I love Seinfeld.
Okay.
I love Seinfeld,
Okay.
but
What you mean, like when that guy
it
got
won't
on
play
stage
to
and
the
started
same
saying the
people.
N-word over and over again? The dude from Seinfeld.
dude, that was some fucked
Kramer.
up shit. That was fucked
Kramer.
up.
You know what doesn't age well? Eddie Murphy getting on stage
Oh
and
my
running back
God.
and forth in complete leather attire. He's like, I walk fast back and forth on this stage. That way faggots don't be looking at my ass. You know, I don't want them faggots to be looking at my ass. And like, I listened to Todd Glass talk about this. the comedian. You'd never know Todd Glass was gay ever because he doesn't talk about it. He's just like, I don't find it interesting. It's just, I am gay and there's nothing else to talk about. Anyways, here's my comedy. But he went on a podcast where he was talking about that, and he was like, fuck Eddie Murphy. That shit doesn't only not hold up. It's just like, fuck that dude. Like, this dude, like, is straight up there hating, like, the gays, and you listen to a whole crowd of 1,000 people just like, like, clapping and shit. And it's like, you look back at that, and it's like, that doesn't only not hold up. He's just straight up on stage, like, with hate speech, talking, like, crazy shit. Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, shit like that does not hold up.
It's
like, there's a bunch of shit like that.
I remember when I first saw that, like, because I got really into comedy,
Eddie
like
Murphy
4
Raw?
or 5. What?
You're talking about
I think
Raw?
so.
Or
Yeah,
Delirious,
it was on
one or the other.
Netflix or some shit at one point. But I remember I was getting really into comedy and shit, like, and I checked it out, and I was like, wow, this is fucked up. This is some fucked up shit that Eddie Murphy is saying, this family actor. But, like, Disney will fucking cut James Gunn for some, like, shitty tweets from ever ago, but they'll have him, like, for Daddy Daycare, like Eddie Murphy for Daddy Daycare and some PG movies and shit.
When I was a kid, I had seen all these, like, Eddie Murphy, like, The Haunted Mansion, watching him fucking play, what's the one where he goes to Mars?
Dr. Doolittle.
The one where he goes to Mars.
Norbit.
Yeah.
Fucking
Professor.
Daddy
Daycare,
Professor.
all the ones that you named. I grew up watching all these movies, and then when I got to about 9-10 years old, my dad was a big fan of stand-up comedy, and he showed me a lot of comedians and shit. He had like the HBO shit, and he was like, he had this VHS tape of Eddie Murphy Raw, and I remember watching it then and thinking like, holy shit, Eddie Murphy just says fucking dick every other word. Like, this is crazy to me, and that's why it was funny. When I'm 10 years old, we're talking about 15 years ago, then you watch it again thinking like, oh, this dude was fucking hilarious. Like, this is like, I remember watching this and being like, oh, like, my dad's like, don't tell your mom I'm letting you see this and shit. Don't tell your stepmom I showed you this. Like, we're watching this at night. Like, no one can know and shit. It's some fuck, and we're laughing. We're holding each other, crying, laughing. Like, holy fucking shit, this is funny. Like, and then you watch it 15 years later thinking like, oh, that nostalgia be relived. And the first thing that he gets into walking back and forth is that bit that I said before. And I'm like, oh,
cringe.
Jesus Christ. Like, and then you keep listening. There's a couple funny jokes, but a lot of this shit just doesn't hold up anymore.
You into comedy?
Yeah. Comedy's sick.
Who are your dudes right now? You listen to a lot of it?
I don't listen to a lot more recently. I've been kind of like, I don't know. I really like, God, what is his name? The Australian dude.
Like Jim Jeffries.
Jim Jeffries. I fucking love Jim Jeffries.
He's doing a good job on the Daily Show, but before that, he had a bunch of phenomenal specials where he's just out there talking about like just being an animal of a human being. But like, I love it when dudes are very forthcoming about all their bullshit. Like, nothing
Honest.
is funnier to me than vulnerability. Like,
Yeah.
when you're not that you're not afraid to get up on stage and talk about it, but that you just like, I have to because this is the only thing that I could possibly talk about that would be funny. It's like, I recognize something about that when dudes can get up on stage and talk about shit like that. I recognize that with bands too, for sure. Like, there's got to be some connection to that and like why people find certain bands like attractive to them or like something that they like listening to outside of just like, it sounds good in my ear holes and shit. But a lot of these dudes that just get up there and talk, like Jim Jeffries will sit up there and talk about coke addiction and fucking alcoholism and all this crazy shit and has very, very dark opinions about everything. I gravitate towards shit like that. I love comedians to do things like that. I've always liked that since I was a little kid, probably.
You know,
Man, you're
James,
fucked up. No, I'm just kidding.
dude,
Broken.
James Inman was on last week, and he does like stuff with a comedian called Doug Stanhope. He was awesome to talk. I felt like I feel like anytime we have a comedian on, I feel like it's kind of like it's such a serious conversation the whole time, and it's so weird and surreal to me. Do you feel that way too?
James, I called James after we got done with the podcast because he was like, I'm just drinking at home, whatever. Like, if you want to video call me, and all right. And I talked to him for 5 minutes, and he was hammered.
Really?
And I was like, all right, well, I got other stuff to do. I didn't, but I was like, James, you're fucking drunk. I got to get off here and shit. But whatever. He knew he was drunk, and then he wrote me some correspondence about it, and he was like, I liked it, but the first 10 minutes was just me yelling, and it was fucking like...
Well, he got into it.
But
yeah.
that's part of what makes a good comedian. You can recognize like the faults in yourself, and that's what I'm talking about, like that vulnerability. Like, Inman is a great example of something like that. Like not
you
a lot of
fucking
people
have that. You apologize to everyone you hang out with when you're fucking drinking the next day.
I'm not a comedian. I'm just
That's some vulnerability right there.
I've got a podcast. This shit isn't interesting if I just come up here and talk about all the safest moments of my life. No, I gotta come up here and talk about crazy shit. That's what this, like, the only way that I can do this podcast, you come on here and talk crazy shit. Like, I'm not a comedian, but that's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
yeah, back to the thing though. The Inman is like that type of comic. Like that dude really enjoyed doing it, and I think he wants to come back as well. Like,
Yeah, we should
that'll be
totally
a
have him
good
back
time.
on. He was fucking hilarious. When he goes up in his rants, it's fucking hilarious.
You're kind of right though. You're talking about like we have
Well,
comedians
anytime.
on.
Yeah,
Jay Armstrong.
Jay Armstrong, like I love these guys. Like whenever they come on, any type of funny kind of people, but they're just like they're so much more deeper than you think. Anybody that you would consider funny is probably a very deep person, I would say. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
Like,
without
they-
question.
they analyze-
Without question.
They
yeah.
analyze the stuff and they're just open and honest about it.
Well, that's why they find the things that are funny in life, because
Yeah.
they analyze every single little aspect, and you know, there's a lot of shit that just doesn't make sense because we're fucking human.
Yeah, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We don't know
Social
shit.
paradigms, man.
Yeah. But yeah,
Trained.
anytime we had him on, it's always been like it's not a really funny episode. It's just serious.
Our
like,
second
the whole
episode
time.
with Jay Armstrong was great.
Yeah, he's always great.
The first one was great too. It was just very serious. We were talking about his heroin addiction and things like that. And then he messaged us afterwards, like, "Can I, like, next time we do this, if we do this again, I'm a comedian. Let's be fucking funny. We don't have to talk about how I shot dope for 12 years straight for 2 hours. Like, come the fuck on." And the next time we're talking, we got a little serious, but it's mostly jokes and fucking around. Like, it was a good time.
Yeah,
Mike
for sure.
Tyson.
Yeah, the Mike Tyson story that he was telling was fantastic.
Oh fuck, that's right.
Oh, I thought you were saying that you had Mike Tyson on the show. I was
Oh,
like,
we
That'd
have
be
him
something.
coming.
No, we did. Tell your friends. Maybe they'll
Yeah, yeah.
fucking
Maybe they'll listen to
subscribe
us.
just trying to find that video.
Yeah,
and
they have
shit.
Mike Tyson.
Waiting
It's
for
in
it.
there. You just
No,
gotta look real
Mike's
deep.
there. He's
Really
coming
look.
next week. He's coming
Look,
next. Oh,
he's-
they had to delay.
He's in one of the videos. You just have to watch all of them.
Yeah,
to be
I
able
just
to
don't
tell.
remember which one. You
And
you
like
tell
and
me.
subscribe. It'll appear.
Absolutely. Holy
That's
shit.
funny. But yeah,
Stuff.
Are we gonna do more videos? Do you
yeah,
want to
we
get
got
into
some
any
other
of
ones.
this
Let's
other
check
shit?
it. Let's check that.
Let's
shit.
do this one because I've already seen this one before. Luke and Jake have never seen this.
So, what was it? What were we talking about earlier? This full circle. Never mind.
Full
go on.
circle?
We were talking about this shit like drugs, people doing drugs and shit. I think we were talking about. Go on. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay, so it's a dude singing. That's what you're hearing right now. And he's walking down an alleyway, and it's like coming up on a gate for our audio listeners.
Gotta get some of the rain.
Pumped about the rain.
Drugs sitting right there looking. Drugs hell. What the hell?
So the camera pans from somebody obviously, like this dude walks down an alleyway, opens this fucking like corrugated fence, and there's a dude on the right obviously making a drug deal, which he's not even making any, like, paying no mind to. Just two dudes shaking hands heavy-handed and shit. And I'm thinking like, oh, this is the idea of the video. Like, he's gonna make fun of these people doing a drug deal. Nope. He swoops his camera around to the right all the way to the other side. This dude is blacked out in the bushes, like just gone. And here's what he has to say.
No way. Oh, my boy, yo, you good?
The dude is blacked
God.
out as fuck. Like, he's got his hands in his pockets, and he's sitting on, like, there's like a little tiny brick wall and then plants behind it, and he's completely folded backwards. And the dude sees him,
Underneath a gutter.
and his eyes are going around like a bingo ball hopper, like just spinning in his head, and he's trying to get up, like just, and then he can't, and then he goes back down, and he's just sitting there, and the dude's fucking singing it to him the whole time. That's a fantastic
It's so
video
funny
for me.
seeing how many videos are out on the internet where they're catching people like on drugs and shit. That just blows my mind.
Yeah,
there was
dude.
another one that you had too.
Yeah,
that was
Allie
on
showed
there.
me this video because she's going to San Francisco soon, and it's just she was like, "Here's this thing. Don't watch now. Don't watch now." Oh Jesus! All right, here we go. Here we go. So it's just a little GIF. It's this kid riding her bike down the street, and a parent obviously filming, and there's a dude nodding out, standing up in broad daylight. Like, you're like, what's he doing? What's he doing? The camera pans around. This motherfucker has the full rig. He's got a
He's about to stick
syringe.
himself.
He's got a little bottle cap with some dope in it that he's already lit up. He can't keep himself together, though. He's like just got off a spinny chair that spun around like 15 times and shit. He's over here like, oh, Jesus, I don't know how I'm going to do this. He's not even waiting for the nightfall to come. He's doing this in broad fucking daylight with a little kid just strolling on by.
That's fucking crazy. I mean, I see that shit downtown Cincinnati. You ever see that shit?
You saw somebody banging dope on the street? Like,
No, but I mean, I've seen people like that were begging for money that are literally nodding off, just like as they're holding
that's
the sign.
nothing. This
and
dude is
people
shooting
passed
dope
out.
next
Yeah,
to a
this-
kid
yeah.
riding its little bike
Yeah.
on the middle of the
If
street in the
that
middle of the
would've
day.
happened downtown Cincinnati on the sidewalk, a boy would fucking pop him with the quickness. There's so many
Pop
police.
him?
Yeah, there's so many cops.
With-
Luke,
posted on
let me
there.
translate. He's saying the police would shoot him immediately. Alright?
And then Luke would laugh.
That's what Luke just said. For all of our
You sick
listeners that
fuck.
didn't grow up in Coleraine and just in Joe's basement like we did,
I meant that they would arrest him.
would pop him
Pop
immediately.
him? I never heard brought that with arresting.
I apologize.
Sounds like you're trying to gratata his ass.
Yeah, man. Brian Silva's the fucking American hero. Let's talk about him for a second.
Are you talking about the gratata dude?
Yeah.
Luke, I know you got some shit
Did-
to go with Brian Silva. Apparently
What
nothing more than
is
just
he?
laughters and like hyperventilation.
He got arrested?
Okay, so yeah. There's this whole news footage, right? And apparently he had like Instagrammed it. I had a fucking YouTube.
This is the
for
guy
it.
that says gratata?
Yeah, he like had some girlfriend, and it turns out the girlfriend was like, I'm actually 17, and she told
Ouch.
she said that he is holding her hostage. So the fucking boys showed up and surrounded his house, and he served some time in jail for kidnapping.
Jesus Christ.
Luke,
What are you on
have you
fucking Pornhub for?
No, it's important.
Are you
Watch.
pulling up? What are you pulling up?
Luke, you're such a fan of Brian Silva. I didn't know if you've seen his latest video or
Wait,
not.
shut. He's got a fucking porn video?
Not just a porn video, Patrick.
You're fucking.
What?
You want to see what
This
kind?
is him?
This is 100% him. No, that's
What?
him. Look,
Luke, you need to watch this. What the fuck? We're watching gay porn of the gratata guy. He's gratata gobbling on dick.
You're
No,
gonna
it's-
have to
Get this fucking dick off my
censor all
screen.
of that.
Oh my god.
no, keep watching,
nothing
guys. It
wrong
gets
Clear
good.
the cache
A little bit
and
of dick
run.
sucking, dude. You know.
No, it
fucking
gets
whatever.
better, Luke. Look, he's getting his balls real good,
Dude,
just like you like.
This is fucking.
Oh, he's tongue and butt
This
now.
is the Olympics all over again. What
Oh
the
yeah,
fuck?
really working that dong.
Why is this so graphic? This is fucking crazy.
Have you guys
What the
never seen
fuck?
this before? Hold on, watch more real quick.
How much have you seen?
All
How
of
much
it.
have you seen?
Well, I beat off to at least the first 4 minutes of it, but I'm a quick finisher,
What's
boys.
the setup? What, he's listening to music? Yeah, I'm just like doing some homework. And what's on his bed? Is that a fucking whole computer setup?
He's got his headphones in. That's Brian Silva. No, there's no dicks out. Look, Luke.
Yeah.
Luke is so obviously gay, he just doesn't want to pop a boner in front of everybody. That's why he can't watch the gay porn. No,
Oh,
dude.
get it out of here!
No boner.
Let me guess, a pattern on the pants.
Keep watching. He's got his Abercrombie and Fitch shirt on. That's Brian Silva, by the way. This is undisputed.
Seriously?
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
that's-
really him.
Allie,
Y'all
is this
haven't heard
true?
that?
It's 100% true.
What? Allie's fucking Snopes.
Allie's Snopes for the internet. What, is this real?
No, I'm 100%.
Is it bullshit, Allie?
I'm fairly certain he came out with it.
No,
Like,
he did. He's talked about it in videos
Yeah.
before. He's like, man, I was just trying to make some money. I'm like,
Oh,
hold on a minute.
Yeah,
this
he
looks
was
like some...
really working for it.
He had a hard throbbing cock. Just keep waiting, Luke. You'll see the hard throbbing cock. Watch the setup. It took no.
Hello, what are you working on?
What's up, man?
It took no
Working
setup.
on this one video, so I should check it out.
Oh, cool. Want to suck
wanna
my
fuck?
cock? Cool. Want to put my untrimmed
Is
cock
your
in
dick
your
hard
mouth?
too?
Hold on. Let's fast forward to the good
Oh,
stuff.
no.
it's almost
That's
there.
totally him.
You got a
That's
huge
totally
fucking
him.
dick.
He was in the
You
same
hear him?
fucking bathroom and his dick was out.
No, did you hear him? He showed him a video and he was like, "You got a huge cock." See it?
Damn. You got a huge fucking dick.
Yeah.
You got a huge
fuck?
fucking dick.
This has gone into madness.
How did it segue from the robot walking down the hallway to a
Dude,
fucking
it's like
video of him naked?
Yeah, I do.
It's like,
Oh,
all right,
wow.
Hey, man, good shit. All right.
Dude, what the fuck? What the fuck, Cody?
All right, we get the idea.
You're really gonna have to like buffer all of that out in the video.
That's what happened to your hero, though, Luke. Luke couldn't even
Hero?
watch.
What said it was my hero? Your hero?
That's what between like kidnapping a young girl, going
Y'all
to
ain't
jail,
never
your
fucking
dog.
done that on a Saturday night, though. Like,
just never get my dick sucked by my
Yeah,
bro.
dude, I'm just trying to Netflix and chill with my bros.
I'm just trying to fucking chill with my dudes. That's all.
Jacob,
What's
when
up,
you
bro?
came on the Bastard Sermon tonight, did you have any idea that you'd be watching Brian Silva getting his cock sucked by?
Yeah, I had quite a bit of idea actually. Yeah,
All right.
I thought it kind of came with it.
What kind of porn do you watch?
Fucking A. I don't know, man. Like the top suggested video that comes on. I don't know.
It's
Like,
probably
I'm not
it's probably
super-
like
Is it something
incest,
weird?
like stepdad.
Like, what's
and
your weird-
stepdad
what's your incest
on
fetish?
step cousin,
Is
right?
it tickling?
Like,
No
fucking-
sex involved.
if you're gonna watch
furry porn.
sister sex or mother sex, what are you picking?
Interesting. Okay, so I don't really like old people. I think it's more like the fucking stepsister thing, you know, like all of that shit, probably. Because like that's just like the most common thing that pops up anymore. Stepsister shit.
Stepsister. Why is that a thing?
I don't know. I really don't.
And-
that doesn't make any sense to
And
me.
why?
Why do
does
you guys keep
Jacob,
masturbating to it?
Why does Jacob come so hard to it? I mean, these are questions that'll never be answered.
No. I understand. I don't know. Why do you guys come so hard to it too? I mean, let's be honest.
Well, it's because I'm broken as a human being.
I mean, come on. Let's not
Facts.
focus it on one person. Let's be honest.
I'm
There's
barely-
a reason it's on the top part of Pornhub because everyone's fucking watching it.
Is it
We
just
get
that
it,
much
Jake.
fun?
You're into incest porn. You don't have to defend it. Why is it there when I'm logged in on the video that I watch the most? Why is it
Man,
in
does
that
this sound like me
category?
defending it? I feel like, if anything, I'm offending the fuck out of it, and I'm saying everybody is inclusive in
Why
this
is
shit.
it like Netflix? It's got to continue watching, and the continue watching is only filled with incest porn. I feel like that's not just my problem. This is the world's problem. I like your points, Jacob. I do.
Oh my god!
I'd elect you as my governor. I would. And I don't know about president, but we'll start with governor and see how you do with the incest porn act reduction.
Something of that sort, man.
Good God.
God. Welcome to the Bastard Sermon.
All right, we're at about 2 hours. Did you guys all have a good time? Is there anything we didn't touch?
How'd you feel, man? You have a good
Okay.
time?
Yes. Wonderful.
Anything you want to plug at the end here? Tell our listeners about.
Where they can catch you, all the music they can listen to.
Where can we follow you?
If you look up the term BROJOB on Google, I think that we're the first thing that pops up. I'm not actually sure, though.
What was that guy's name? Brian Silva? Yeah, probably Brian Silva.
Yeah.
Urban Dictionary bro job.
Okay,
You want to see
so-
what
Wait,
it says?
shut up.
Urban
Seriously?
Dictionary's on there.
Oral sex between two allegedly heterosexual male friends. I see how this band was formed.
So hold
Now
on.
I see how this band was formed.
Brian
I understand
Silva,
better now.
Brian Silva's porn was called BROJOB.
He's
bro
not
job, dude.
gay. Yeah, Luke has to.
No, it was totally just a bro job. I
That
love
was
the
a
80s.
BROJOB scenario.
Look, man, if your bro is real fucking thirsty, you know what I mean, and like he just can't get any, like, are you really gonna let him suffer?
Did any of
Let me ask
We
you this.
didn't
If
finish. We didn't finish the thing. It says oral sex between two allegedly heterosexual male friends, particularly when said friends were wasted. Then it says, as an example text, it says, "So are you like gay now that Ernie sucked your wang?"
No.
And
it
the
was
only thing that I have a
totally
problem
just
with is the word
BROJOB.
wang. If you ever say wang to me, I'll cut your dick off and eat it in front of you.
Cut your wang off.
Wang, bro.
What if I pulled a knife out right now?
I'd fucking pull my pants off right now.
I like that. I've got a quarter
You
chub
about to give him
already.
a
Luke.
bro job? Go on.
Oh, we've already got the camera rolling.
All right. Anything else that we can promote before we cycle off into retardation?
Where can we follow you on Instagram, Facebook, bands, Coldharbour? When's the next show?
Coldharbour.
More than a week away.
Facebook. YouTube stuff. March 15th. Born of Osiris. Fucking Chelsea Grin, Coldharbour. That'll be fun. And also BROJOB's doing stuff. We got new songs coming out soon. Next one's gonna be called Bottom Feeders.
Fucking sick, bro.
So that'll be fun.
Be sure to check out all the shows on the Bastard Network, the Shit Talking Cunts Between the Covers, Elliot from Boston, and all them. Check out Black Collar TV. They just dropped the Jimmy and Jerry Season 4 promo video. It'll be dropping soon. It's going to be great.
Thanks again for coming on, Jacob. It was fucking awesome. Super cool hanging out and totally making you deal with all this fucking craziness.
It was a blast.
Yeah,
thanks for coming on. Let's have you come back on again soon.
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
It was fun.
Peace.
Take it easy,
Peace.
everybody. Damn, dude, I still can't believe that you got the whole head in your mouth.